In a competitive world, average won't cut it. The Success Launch Point shows you how to stand out, deliver massive value, and rise above the crowd. With on-demand courses, expert coaching, and a community focused on growth, you'll accelerate your career and your paycheck. It's time to level up. Check out modernobserver.com/launchpoint.
An AI cyber attack, Russian spy ships off Hawaii, China's economic slowdown continues, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Hackers used Anthropic AI to automate cyber attacks. The Claude maker said that a hacker group, which it believes with high confidence is Chinese state-sponsored, manipulated its AI tools to infiltrate a number of major companies. According to Anthropic, it was the first documented case of a large-scale cyber attack executed without substantial human intervention. The company said it was able to disrupt the attempted hacks in part because Claude occasionally hallucinated credentials or thought it stole private information that was actually public. The U.S. Coast Guard announced Thursday it detected a Russian military spy vessel operating near U.S. territorial waters on October 29th, and personnel are continuing to monitor the ship. Officials said the Vishnya-class intelligence ship was about 15 nautical miles south of Oahu. The Coast Guard responded to the Russian intelligence ship by conducting a safe and professional overflight and transiting near the vessel, according to a news release. The U.S. Justice Department filed suit Thursday against California Governor Gavin Newsom and Secretary of State Shirley Weber, claiming the state's new redistricting plan under Proposition 50 violates the Constitution. The federal government says the plan, approved by voters, creates racially gerrymandered congressional districts that prioritize Latino demographics, breaching the Equal Protection Clause. Attorney General Pam Bondi called it a brazen power grab, aiming to lock in one-party control. The case is pending in federal court in Los Angeles. The DOJ is the second lawsuit against the state for the redistricting. The first was filed by the California Republican Party. Based on precedent at the Supreme Court, the redistricting was, in fact, illegal. California is set to revoke commercial driver's licenses that were issued illegally to 17,000 immigrants after pressure from the Trump administration. Numerous accidents and fatality have been linked back to the owners of these licenses. The licenses that are expected to be revoked would have expired after the driver was legally allowed to be in the country. After weeks of claiming they did nothing wrong, Gavin Newsom and California have been caught red-handed. Now that we've exposed their lies, 17,000 illegally issued trucking licenses are being revoked, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said in a statement. This is just the tip of the iceberg. My team will continue to force California to prove they have removed every illegal immigrant from behind the wheel of semi-trucks and school buses. The Transportation Department said that those impacted by the decision have been notified that their licenses no longer meet federal requirements and will expire in 60 days. China's economic slowdown worsened in October, dragged by soft consumer demand and a deepening property downturn, with the long holiday period further denting factory activity. National Bureau of Statistics data showed Friday that fixed asset investment, which includes real estate, contracted 1.7% for the first 10 months of the year, steepening from a 0.5% decline in the January to September period. Analysts polled by Reuters had forecast a 0.8% drop. The last time China recorded a contraction in fixed asset investment was in 2020 during the pandemic, according to data going back to 1992 from Wind Information, a private database focused on the country. Verizon is reportedly cutting 15,000 jobs in its largest layoff ever. According to the Wall Street Journal, the telecommunications giant plans to axe 15,000 roles in the next week in an effort to reduce costs under its new CEO, Daniel Schulman. Verizon, the largest telecom provider in the U.S., has lost postpaid phone subscribers in 3 straight quarters as it faces increased competition. Schulman told investors that the company is at a critical inflection point and that he plans to streamline parts of the business that don't have paths to profitability. Verizon's stock ticked up about 1% yesterday following the news of the historic layoffs. The IRS has announced new 401k contribution limits for 2026. In its release on Thursday, the agency increased the employee deferral limit to $24,500 next year, up from $23,500 in 2025. The change applies to 401ks, 403bs, and most 457 plans, along with the federal thrift savings plan. The IRS also unveiled 2026 catch-up contribution limits for savers age 50 and older, new individual retirement account saving limits, and higher income thresholds for Roth IRA contributions. Starting in 2026, the 401k catch-up contribution limit will rise to $8,000 for savers 50 and older from $7,500 in 2025. But investors aged 60 to 63 can instead save an extra $11,250 based on changes enacted via Secure 2.0. That figure is unchanged from 2025. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Exvadio Podcast Network at exvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.